Okay, I'm making some more of the tomato jam, only I'm making sugar-free this time. I just thought I would tell you, I'm going to send you the recipe, and it has the sugar and the sugar-free both on the same recipe, so you can pick which one. But I was going to tell you, you'll see here on how you have to blanch the tomatoes and stuff. I found it so much easier to use the Instant Pot, and I have instructions on there. I'll tell you what to do. I just put 3/4 cup of water in the Instant Pot. And then I put, I have this little strainer thing like this. You don't have to use this, but I put the tomatoes in there. Let me go to the next video. Okay, I had 10 Roma tomatoes, and I cut them like this, where it shows you do a little X. Put them in the little basket, put them in my Instant Pot with 3/4 cup of water, and then I put it on 2 minutes. And hit the on button. I'm gonna go next video. You set it for 2 minutes, and then you do the quick release. And during that 2 minutes, you want to get a big bowl or big pot full of cold water with ice in it, because you need to put the tomatoes into ice right away for an ice bath. Next video. So after the 2 minutes are up, I took the tomatoes out that were just pressurized for 2 minutes and put them in the ice water. You can use a slotted spoon, or if you have, keep jumping over here to this, one of these in your Instant Pot, you just lift that right out, and you can put it right into the ice bath. Okay, you leave it in the ice bath for around 5 minutes, and then you gently peel back the skin away from the tomato flesh, discard the skins, empty the water from the Instant Pot. And if the tomatoes are big, I just cut them in half. And you're going to put these all back into the Instant Pot. Pour the sugar or a sugar substitute on top. Next video. Okay, now you're going to set it again for 2 minutes on pressure. When the 2 minutes are up, then hit the quick release. And of course, once pen goes down, open the lid. And you're going to leave the sugar and tomatoes and all that water juice together in the pan, in the pot. And you want to mash the tomatoes with a potato masher or emulsifier hand blender. Melissa got me one, a portable one, for my birthday. It looks like this, and it's so cool. Whoops. And so it can chop up the tomatoes. I meant to say it'll like puree the tomato, so you don't want any big tomato pieces in it. I call this a one-pot tomato jam, is what I'm telling myself. Anyway, so then everything's back in the Instant Pot again. You're going to hit the saute button, and you're going to hit, mine says start. I have two different ones. One says start, the other doesn't. It goes to 30 minutes, which is good. You want to hit that button. Make sure the saute is on a high setting. Then you're going to add the spices, which is half a teaspoon of ground allspice, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and also 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. That's around the juice of 1 lemon. Okay, then you're going to just start stirring it. And then I add 1 tablespoon of the pectin. You don't have to add the pectin to the raspberry jam. It gels by itself. But I found on the tomato, it does better if you do add the pectin. And so I buy it by the bulk. Well, you can get it however you want. Anyway, just 1 tablespoon, kind of whisk it into the mixture. Okay, like this one's boiling right now. You're gonna wanna cover this. I didn't cover it yesterday, and my whole cabinet, my whole countertop, I wish I would have taken a picture then. I was making the sugar-free raspberry. It was splattered everywhere. I had to completely just take everything off and clean all my appliances. So you can put a pot back on it, the pot lid back on it, but you need to leave it open a little bit, like an inch, so water can, the steam can escape. Or if you have a splatter screen like this goes on skillets, this works great. Okay, this has been boiling like 5 minutes. You're going to want to stir this like every 5 to 10 minutes. I found out with the Instant Pot, actually after, see, because it's kind of thin right now. You're going to see in about 10 minutes it's going to start thickening up. And like every 10 minutes as it gets closer, like every 5. It takes close to 30 minutes to cook. But while it's doing that, I'm running around cleaning the kitchen, throwing in laundry, whatever. So much easier than putting this on the stove, that's for sure. And it doesn't get as hot in my house. It's been 10 minutes cooking with the little splatter top. Man, I wished I would have used this yesterday. I don't have any splatter. Okay, I'm gonna take it off. This is what it looks like after 10 minutes. I'm gonna get my spoon out here and stir it. Oh, and you can see it's getting thicker. It's just gotta evaporate all that water and cook down. But see, it's getting thicker. I'm gonna set a timer again for 10 minutes and go throw a load of laundry in, and I'll be right back. Another thing you're gonna wanna do is you wanna get a glass. This is a small glass plate and a glass and a spoon. Put these in your freezer. Get them nice and cold, because this looks like trying to do this while I'm holding it. And so then when the jam looks like it's about done, we're gonna do a little test where you dip the spoon, the cold spoon, into the jam. And if it sticks onto it real good, then you know it's thick enough. And you want to spoon a little dollop into the middle of the bowl, let it set, the plate, let it set a couple minutes, and then tip it, and if it doesn't run down, then you know the jam is set. When I start cooking the, after I take them out, the tomatoes out and blanch them and do all that stuff, and I start cooking them with the spices, then I fill a big pot full of water. I bought this big pot, but this thing, it lets white stuff all over it. It was just cheapy. So I just got one of my good pots here, and you want a deep pot because you need to fill it where when you put the jars in, it needs to cover the jars around at least an inch. So this is gonna start boiling, and this is good for making 6 little jars at a time. It works really good for me. Okay, everything's coming along real good. The water's boiling good. Looks like the jam is about ready for me to test it. Since I'm doing a hot water bath that's over 10 minutes long, you don't need to sterilize the jars, because when you do it over 10 minutes, it's not needed. Okay, I just wanted to show you a few things. I bought this little canning set. It doesn't have a pot. If you get one with a pot, it's like $70. This was like $20-some. And you get this nice canning ladle, funnel, which is perfect. Fits right inside the jars just right. And you fill it right to the bottom there. It's perfect. It also comes with a little measuring thing so you can see, do you need to do a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, whatever. At the other end, it's got this really cool tool. It's magnetic. So when you're putting the lids on, you just go like that and go like that. And then, of course, I was using my regular tongs, burning myself, and this will lift up the bottles, which is what I was using before I'm going to try my little mesh thing here out, but if not, just clamp on the bottles to pull them in and out. It also comes with the tongs in case you're cleaning out a bottle, I think. This is for putting the jars if you have a really big pot, but it doesn't fit into mine, which is fine. And this is to help open the jars, it says, if you need it, which I'm not even going to use. I got all that on Amazon. Okay, I got busy talking and forgot to check this, but anyway, it's done now. It takes about 20-25 minutes. It looks like it's done. See how thick it is now? And then I'm going to do the test and show you that. So to make for sure that it's thick enough, you want to take a cold spoon, and you want to do this and see if it sticks. Yep. Then you want to take a spoon, put a little dollop right there on the plate, and then you're going to wait. It says a couple minutes, and tip your plate and see if it runs off. Then it's not ready. You need to cook it more. I can tell by looking at this, it's ready. Okay, Cooking with Linda. This is live. You see my mistakes. So busy doing the video and talking. I let this cook too long, and it actually, when I did it on the plate, the little taste test, test, it was crystallized. It turned it to almost like candy. So it was too thick. So I've added a cup of water, put it back on saute, because that gets really nice and hot. And I'm going to cook it down just a little more and test it. Now it's a little bit thinner, not as thick. It was too thick, and so it, like I said, so I'm going to see if I can save it this way. And might need to add a little of the flavoring since I added a cup of water with this. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. I added another cup of water because it was cooked down too much, and it tastes really good. So I think it's done now. I'm going to go ahead and do the test again. Cold spoon. Oh yeah, that's so much better. And now I'm going to put it over here as a little test on there, and that's a lot better. Now I'm going to can them. Okay, I'm going to turn my saute off. Cancel. And remove my spoon. I'm going to put a ladle in there until I can't ladle anymore. Then I'll use this big spoon. I'll show you in a second. Okay, try to do this while I'm videoing. My ladle, got the little thing right there. And you want to pour this, you don't want to have too much of a gap so bacteria doesn't get in. So I do it to the very bottom where I can't see the top of the jar anymore, like right there. And that should be like 1/4 of an inch. Look how cool that thing is, see? Perfect. I'm gonna set that aside and I'm gonna finish filling these up. Okay, now it looks like it made 4 all the way to fill where I need to put it at. Nice and thick. And also, I'm just gonna hold that there. You wanna make for sure that your jars don't have any jam or anything on them. Having that one little funnel thing that goes with these works really good because they stay clean. But you wanna make sure this is all nice and clean before we put the jar, the lids on them. So it made 4. I think I'm going to add the 1 cup of water because this cooked down so much. Okay, when you put the lids on, you want to just do them finger tight so it seals them. And then once they start to cool, you'll tighten them real tight. And 4 goes real good. Now I'm just going to take this, so much easier, and put this in my pot of boiling water. I can do this without getting burned. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay, now it's good. I removed a couple cups of water because I filled it way too full when I was thinking I needed more. You just want to make sure that all the lids are covered really good with boiling water. It's going to boil for 15 minutes and it's all done just for the setting process. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this recipe I just made is the sugar-free one. What's so nice, everything is so easy to clean up the Instant Pot. Of course, this pot here, all I gotta do is just barely, clean it, dry it, put it away. It's just water. My Instant Pot and everything else I was using went right here into my dishwasher, and I don't have to have a whole bunch of dishes stacked up from canning. One more thought I'm going to change on my recipe that you guys will see is, you know how I said you probably needed an extra cup of water because it was too thick at the end. I think instead of draining the juice off of the tomatoes once they cook in the bath water, and I say to drain it, or at least that's what I said in the video, I'm going to change it on my recipe. Keep that juice in there because it's got the tomato juice in with it, and that'll give us the extra water that we need for this recipe. Or I should say the extra probably liquid we need for the recipe. Okay, the 15 minutes are up. I just pulled this right out of the pot. So much easier than having to take each one, although I'm still going to have to do that to get them out of here because I want to let them cool over here. You want to take a paper towel or something and just wipe the tops if there's any liquid left on there. And now they're going to start cooling. You'll start to hear them pop as they cool. And they'll be ready. You can have them like after 12 hours or so. These will stay in the cupboard. Well, you can store them. It says up to over a year, up to 18 months, but over a year, you really need to check them to make sure nothing's wrong with them. I'm trying to do this while I'm doing this. Anyway, so they're all ready now just to cool. I'm gonna put them all here. Okay, so like I said, they're cooling now. I was hoping one of them will pop. You'll start hearing them pop as the little domes go down. You got to make sure after like 12 hours or so, if those domes don't go down, you need to put those in the refrigerator and eat them first. So far, I've done like, gosh, almost 30 jars, I think now, and every one of them, the domes have went down. Also, I tightened the lid, which is kind of hard when it's hot, so you might want to wait till it's cooler. You can. Just make sure the lid is tightened up a little bit. I make these cute little labels so I know what's in each one, and after they cool, then each one I'll stick this little label that says sugar-free tomato jam, because I've got other ones in there that say tomato jam, but these are sugar-free for me. Yay. And that's it. All done for now. I already gave away like 10 jars, but I'm so addicted. These are sugar-free raspberry jam, regular raspberry jam, sugar-free my grandma's homemade tomato jam, my recipe kind of tweaked, and homemade regular tomato jam. Yum. I have peaches on our tree and apricots, nectarines. I can't wait to start canning some of those when I get back from our vacation.